All right, welcome back, everybody. These are live pictures coming in from our Lions Roofing News chopper of what appears to be a helicopter crash or hard landing in the East Valley in Mesa. Mesa police just moments ago confirming that their crews are on the scene here. This is Sherwood Park, which is just north of the US 60, kind of near Horne and Stapley, if you're familiar with the Mesa area. Mesa police telling us sounds like no injuries to anyone on the ground at the park. They say there were at least 2 people in the helicopter at the time they're being treated at the scene. They say the injuries to the 2 people on board the chopper are unknown. So we're waiting to hear back from them. Our chopper's over the scene, and coincidentally, Jerry Ferguson, who's one of our pilots, happened to be on the ground in this area and apparently witnessed this. Jerry, I think you're on the phone with us. What were you just in the area, and describe what you saw?
I'm trying to not show them working on people there.
All right, we're going to try and establish a connection with Jerry Ferguson as we continue looking at these live photos of this helicopter which went down. Again, this is Sherwood Park in Mesa. I think we have Jerry Ferguson, who happened to be on the ground there. Jerry, it's Jared in the studio. Can you hear us? Tell us what you saw.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I was driving home from my shift with the helicopter crew, who were overhead right now, and I saw a helicopter going out of control. Now, I want to mention, I'm not the pilot, so I can't really speak to the technical nature of what was happening, but it looked like the helicopter was out of control, or was getting kind of squirrely back and forth as it flew northbound over the US 60. It landed in Sherwood Park, which is just north of US 60 and just west of that would be not Stapley, but Stapley, just west of Stapley and north of the US 60 in a park. As you said, nobody on the ground appears injured, but I am watching right now. I'm watching one man getting CPR and another who I was able to actually get right up close and was trying to help out. He was alert and conscious. I'm not sure what the extent of their injuries are. The one man that I was there trying to help had cuts across his face and on some of his body. The other man, I haven't seen any. It's tough to tell. They're doing CPR right now. Paramedics are doing CPR right now. So that's what I've seen so far from the ground here. The rotor blade has separated from the helicopter. I just posted some photos up on Twitter of the fuselage there. Initially, I thought that it was the SRP helicopter, because they fly basically a civilian version of a Huey, and that's what this helicopter is. It appears to be the civilian version of basically what a Huey is, and it's on the ground. It's more or less, it hasn't been destroyed. There was no fire, but the rotor did separate, and there's extensive damage to the fuselage there.
Jerry, from your position where you are, can you see if there are any emblems on it? I know you said it's tough to tell. We don't know at this point who owns the chopper, who was flying, but can you see any markings?
It looks like a privately owned helicopter to me. I don't see any markings for any business, and I'm pretty familiar with a lot of the helicopter operations.
Yeah. What alerted you? What drew your attention to look up? Did you hear something different?
It was directly in front of me as I'm driving down the freeway. I always notice helicopters because I fly in one daily. I saw this helicopter flying over the freeway, and I thought, that looks like it's out of control. It was kind of doing shallow S-turns back and forth, like there was something wrong maybe with the tail rotor or maybe hydraulics. I don't want to speculate too much, but as it came across the freeway northbound, all of a sudden it just started spinning and dropping into the park at a relatively quick rate of speed.
And we got that brief update from Mesa Police a few moments ago. It looks like they arrived on scene pretty quickly. I know you were there probably before them.
I got here right as all of the paramedics started to arrive, and shortly thereafter, a massive police presence out here sealing off the area. There's a lot of first responders on scene right now. Like I said, it looks like just the 2 people that are on board that are being treated from where I'm standing.
And as our camera on the Lions Roofing News chopper above pans out, you could see the US 60 at the bottom of your screen, just to give you an idea of where this is happening. Again, this is Sherwood Park, which is kind of off the US 60 and just a bit west of the Stapley exit there, a big park in that area. And Jerry, fortunately, this chopper came down in an area that didn't have any houses, or it wasn't in a backyard. Nobody was outside. Nobody on the ground was hurt. That's confirmed by Mesa police. So they came down in this field. That is one fortunate thing we're looking at.
Well, that's one of the things that as helicopter pilots, pilots are trained to always be looking out for where they can land, a safe place to land. And these guys certainly, it looks like they tried to pick this spot. There's houses just about 100 yards north of where the helicopter actually came down, but where they landed is in an open park.
And Jerry, I'm looking at the pictures you posted to your Twitter page right now. It looks like people just kind of ran up to the helicopter to try to pull people out. Were they able to get out on their own, or did people have to help them out, the two people on board?
I got here a little late for that. They were already out when I got here. Thank goodness it doesn't look like there was any fire. In fact, I can tell there was no fire. But unfortunately, two people pretty seriously injured. One of them has just been taken to the hospital. The other one, they're still doing CPR there. And thank goodness there was a paramedic in that group of folks that were surrounding them. If you look at my Twitter feed, there was a paramedic that was right there. He must have lived in the neighborhood here or had seen the same thing I did. And so thank goodness he was able to respond really quickly.
All right, Jerry Ferguson live on the scene. Jerry, thanks so much for that eyewitness report. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back.